Hey, in this guide, we're going to walk through everything you need to know to get up and running with automation projects. We'll go step by step, so by the end, you'll have everything set up and ready to go. Let's get into it. All right, so the first thing we need to do is to create our project. To do that, head over to AKMS Auto Project Create. This link will take you straight to the project creation flow in the Azure portal. Once you're there, you'll need to select a resource group and give your project a name. Pick something that describes what you're working on. For the location, make sure you select West Central US. That's the supported region for this private preview. After that, go ahead and hit Create. Azure will kick off the deployment, and after a moment, your project resource will be created. One thing to know here is that it can take a few minutes for the project to be fully provisioned. You can keep an eye on this status from this blade. Once the status shows that it's ready, you'll see the button to open the automation project portal for this project. Go ahead and click on that. Now that we're in the automation projects portal, the first thing you'll do is sign in using the same Azure account that you used to create the project. Once you're signed in, you'll land on the applications page. Since this is a brand new project, it's going to be empty. Let's create our first application and give it a name. Once you hit create, the application will start provisioning. Just like the project, this can take a few minutes. Once it's ready, you can go ahead and click on the application and it will navigate you to the application workflows view. If you need to add other users to this application, navigate to the settings page and open the user permissions tab. Select the user that you want to add and then select the appropriate permission. Now let's create our first workflow. Navigate to the workflow section within your application. Here you'll notice you have the option to use an AI assistant to generate a workflow by describing what you want in plain English. For now, we'll build one from scratch. Click Build from Scratch and provide a name for your workflow. That will open up the workflow designer and we'll start putting the workflow together. In this example, we'll build a simple workflow that fetches information from an HTTP endpoint. Start by adding the HTTP request trigger. This is what kicks off the workflow when a request comes in. Next, add the HTTP action and fill in the inputs to perform a GET request on your endpoint. After that, add a compose action. This is where we'll process the output from the HTTP request. You can write JavaScript expressions here, and the designer has rich IntelliSense support to help you as you type. In this case, we'll write an expression to select the body output from the HTTP action and pull out the name property. You'll also notice the preview section below the expression editor. It may be empty right now, but as you run the workflow over time, this will start showing you the preview of your expression output based on past execution. Finally, add a response action to complete the workflow. Drag the output from the compose action over to the response body, and that will finish our workflow. As you edit the workflow, you'll notice that it's being autosaved. It's worth noting that what we're editing here is the workflow draft. The draft is the version of the workflow that you can edit and debug without affecting the running production workflow. When you're ready to test your workflow, click Test Your Draft. This will trigger the workflow and take you to the monitoring view where you can watch the execution in real time using live streaming. You can click on any action in the workflow to inspect its inputs and outputs. This helps you verify that everything is working as expected. Once you've validated the workflow, the last step is to publish it. Publishing makes the workflow active. In our case, this enables the HTTP trigger to start accepting requests. For workflows that use a schedule or connection-based trigger, publishing it is what activates the execution. Just as you can add collaborators to an application, you can also add members to the project level. This allows them to create their own applications within the project. You can add these members in the project settings inside the automation portal.